Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, is trolling President Donald Trump, as well as going after company Google, owned by parent company Alphabet, for changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. So why would they do that? President Donald Trump, in one of his executive orders, changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, as well as changing Mount Denali to Mount McKinley. All right, so now this is, again, these are part of Trump's insane executive orders, that there was a flurry of them. Many of them are already getting challenged in court, but this one is one of the stupid ones, right? Now, that said, Google apparently had explained on X that, hey, all it takes is to change the name is for the documents of the United States to make a switch, and then Google will switch. Google claimed the move was in line with its longstanding practice of applying name changes when they have simply been updated in official government sources. Now, the company also says that it will, quote, quickly change the name of North America's tallest peak and Alaska's Denali back to Mount McKinley. So President Obama had changed it from McKinley to its traditional name of Denali, the name that it's had for thousand years or hundreds of years. I don't know when they started calling it Denali, but it was definitely before people started calling it McKinley. Okay, so now Trump had declared both changes in his executive order to honor America's greatness. But wait, how does this make America great? It doesn't. It's petty and stupid, and only for the benefit of, I would say, some pretty dumb people. Okay, I mean, Americans will now see the Gulf of America on their Google Maps, and Mexico will still see the Gulf of Mexico, and the rest of the world, they're going to end up seeing both, according to Google, which I think is both sad and pathetic. You are basically doing the equivalent of coddling a child. Okay, say, oh, no, you guys can all have it both ways. What? Now, of course, Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, she was not impressed with all this, and she said, hey, look, if we're going to be changing names, I mean, then why not rename the United States as America Mexicana? Now, of course, she says, I actually have the authority to do that. But Donald Trump does not have the authority to rename the Gulf of Mexico. Why? Now, she said the U.S. cannot unilaterally change the name of a body of water, which it shares with Cuba and Mexico, because the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea dictates that an individual country's sovereign territory actually only extends up to 12 nautical miles from the coastline. So basically, hey, look, anything up to 12 miles, you can name whatever the hell you want. But Gulf of Mexico, it's a bit further away. So it's not part of your sovereign territory. So you can't sit there and rename it as much as you want to. Sure, you could rename Denali to McKinley. All right. But don't touch the Gulf of Mexico. All right. She said it cannot apply to the rest. In this case, the Gulf of Mexico. This is what we explained to Google in detail. All right. So now she then said, if they're going to do this, then we ask that you put America Mexicana in the search engine. The map appears as we presented. And that is the map. Okay. It's an older map, but it checks out. It actually comes from 1607, where there are spots of the United States now labeled with America Mexicana. So, hey, if we're going by history and all, again, you have America Mexicana from 1607, and then, of course, you had Denali. And it's just going by history. I mean, once the switch, by the way, is recorded in official Mexican documents, Google's going to have to change it, right? I mean, that was the standard. Google said, like, hey, we have this standard, right? Once the government changes that, we're going to have to change it in official, on our map, because it's official documents. My guess is, though, Google's not going to do that, because I think it only applies to Donald Trump, because Alphabet is kissing their ass. Okay? And look, Alphabet's not the only company that is kissing Trump's ass. You've got Chevron. Chevron's out there calling it the Gulf of America in their official earnings release. And so, look, the entirety of corporate America right now is pathetically licking Trump's boots. I wish I could say I'm surprised by that, but no, of course not. Big companies, they've always been on board with fascism. Now, why do I say fascism? Well, I think it's pretty clear what the United States is turning into. Part of fascism, and one of the big parts of it, is ultranationalism. Well, what do you think renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America is? That's nationalism. Denali to back to McKinley. McKinley, American president. Nationalism. And that's it. and it's of course to distract us all from the fact that Trump and Musk are basically robbing all of us. That is the plan. The massive robbery of the American people. That said, I love how presidents like Sheinbaum at least are pushing back in whatever way they can. And look, they even refused one of Trump's deportation flights and has not caved to his 25% tariffs, which are going to start this weekend, which no doubt are going to hurt U.S. consumers far more than they're going to hurt Mexico. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.